Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to use Canvas for a gradebook and how to use the gradebook within Canvas. I'm starting off in a class. You can see it's grading example class. I just simply made a fake class. I put students in that are the fourth grade teachers, and I'm going to show you how to use those. All of your Canvas courses that have been published have students and therefore will have a gradebook, and there's two ways to go about doing your grading. The first way we'll go about doing the grading is simply to go to grades, and once we're in grades you can see these are the assignments that I created. Normally this would show up as the student did it or didn't do it, but if you are making up fake assignments so that you can use them, um, they're like placeholders for Canvas gradebook. You just would have to do it like this. All we're going to do here is we double click, it brings that up, and then you write however many points the kid earned. So Ms. Baker, you only got 25 out of 36, and then enter, and it goes down to the next one, and you can see that it totals everything up and gives you your grade. Alright, so that is the first way. Now we are going to go back and do it the second way. Now, if you want to do it as a class and be able to interact with the assignment itself, such as by sending the kid an email, something of that nature, what we would do is we'd go into modules or assignments or discussions, whichever you'd like. Module simply puts everything in one spot. You can see these are the possible grades that we have. These are the different names, and all you would do is you would simply click on the one that you wanted to grade. And if you look over here on the right hand side, we have what's called Speed Grader. Speed Grader is an awesome program. It lets you grade everything. It lets you keep track of who's doing things, who's not, and it lets you interact with the kids by sending them emails to say you're not doing your work. It's a very good cover for yourself. It keeps you protected by showing that you are informing the students, and since the parents can see this if they know their students' information, you're informing the parents as well. So we click on Speed Grader, and there's a couple things here that Speed Grader allows us to do. We've got a couple of different areas. Excuse me. This is going to be where the assignment is. Since none of my students have taken any of these assignments, obviously the student doesn't have a submission. If the student doesn't have a submission but everybody else does, that means that this student obviously didn't do anything. They didn't do an assignment. So if we went through and saw that everybody else was doing something, or that the due date, instead of saying no due date, said today or yesterday, then obviously this student did not do their work, so you would simply put in a 0. This is going to be where you grade the thing based upon yourself. You can create rubrics in here, set up rubrics and grade it that way. It's up to you. Once you get that done, you can then add a comment. So in this case, since there was no assignment done, I would simply put this is what I do with all of my PHSC students. When they do not do something in Canvas, I simply do the no assignment submitted. When I submit that comment, Ms. Baker is now going to get an email through Canvas that says that she didn't submit an assignment. Hopefully she does not have a heart attack trying to figure out what I'm talking about there. So that's how you would do that. The other things that are available, so like we said, this would be where your assignment is. There can also be a download area up here. This is going to be where you enter in the grade. These are any comments that either the student made or you made. This is where you submit the comments. You can actually say your comment and submit it that way as well. And then up here is where we have our different list of students. If you want to go to a specific student, you just do this little pull down and then go down and click on the specific student. If you wanted to just go through one at a time, you would just simply click this arrow, and you can see here it's changing from student 4 of 6, 5 of 6, etc. This will take us to the gradebook for this particular class. So it will take us into this view that we've already seen, so you can see what grades you've entered. This will take us back to the very beginning of the course. So if you finish up all of your grading with this and you want to go back, grade some more, you'd simply click Course Home. And then we can go back into modules and we can do the same thing with the next one. So we can go back in, click on Write a Bunch. Again, we go up to the top, we've got Speed Grader, click it. Takes us back in. It's the exact same screen. It will always be the same screen, so you get very comfortable with it. And again, we do all our grades, so we'll just go through 11.8. Submit comment. Awesome. This one was alright. Miss Caruso did okay. We'll give her a 7. Just click next, and it's saved. Miss Goodell gets a 10. Lucchese, an 11. Miss Rivera, a 9. Test student is yourself. Whenever you see this test student, you don't have to worry about that at all. That's just simply you went in as a student. You used the student view at one point or another, and it creates a test student for you. So you don't have to give them a grade at all. And then, as you can see, when we put in our grades, we have check marks for every single grade that's been put in. So all of our students now have check marks and they all have their grades. All right. So then we go back to the grade book. And from this view we can actually see what's going on with the students' grades. A couple of other things you might want to change is you might want to put weights for different things. So if we have assignments, tests, quizzes, those things, you may want to give them weights. If the kids are going to be able to look on here, you might want to hide their names. I've never done that in all the times I've been using it. You can arrange the columns by due date, so if you give them very specific due dates, you can arrange all your columns so they go in a nice order. This one makes things a lot easier to treat ungraded things as zeros. So if you don't grade anything, so like say write a lot, nobody did anything at all, instead of putting in 0 over and over and over again, I can just treat as ungraded and it's going to show up as being all zeros. Don't worry about show concluded enrollments. That means if a kid dropped out of your class, we can still see what that kid got for their grades. There's no real point in doing that. And then show the notes column. You can see notes that we can put in for the particular student, so you don't have to worry about that either. You can also go into individual view. And we can change some of these settings here. And what we would do is we would simply pick a student. And we can view what that student got by doing so. If we change our student, it changes down here, and again we see the information that we got for that particular student. So you can see all the different things back, and then we switch back to our default gradebook. We go right back here again, and if we want to get back to the main course, we just go back to our main course there, and we're starting over again. So you can also, if you didn't want to go through modules, we can go through assignments, and you can see our assignments that we've done. You could go through discussions. You can see that we have 2 discussions, and from any of these locations you can grade the assignments. As soon as you pick one, we have to get a grade here, but when you pick something, when you pick an assignment, like our Write a Bunch, you just click on Speed Grader and it'll take care of it. And you can take care of your grades that way. Hope this helps. Let me know if I can be any more help.